Imagine your landing page talking back to visitors, answering calls, qualifying leads, and even booking calls with your sales team. I'm going to show you how we can add a Livekit voice AI agent into any website. I'll be walking you guys through the complete setup and infrastructure needed to build and deploy the voice agent and the Next.js widget, and then show you how we can embed it into any website with a simple one-line script. And by the end of the video, you have a working voice AI agent into your website, or you can white label it and sell it to clients. So with that being said, let's get into it. Right, so we can either chat with the agent via the embedded chat over here, and then be able to speak with the agent, or we can talk to the agent via the pop-up message on the right hand side here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Hello.
Hello there. How can I assist you today?
I would like to learn a bit about your business. What do you guys offer?
Agenix AI offers AI solutions for businesses, including N8N automations to streamline workflows, AI voice agents for interactive customer engagement, and custom full-stack web applications tailored to business.
Can I go ahead and schedule a meeting with you guys, please?
Great to hear that you want to schedule a meeting. May I have your name, please?
Ahmed Mukhtar.
Thanks, Ahmed. Can you please provide your email address for the meeting invite?
And the email is ahmed@gmail.com.
Got it, Ahmed. When would you be available for the meeting?
Could we do tomorrow
Please
at
share
2
the
p.m.,
date and
please?
time. Thank you, Ahmed. Finally, could you please tell me the reason or topic for the meeting?
I would like to discuss a potential N8N automation project.
Your meeting is successfully scheduled for tomorrow at 2 p.m. to discuss the N8N automation project. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that'll be all. Have a great day. Right, so as you know, as soon as leads jump on our websites, we want to capture them, qualify them, answer their questions and help them, and also keep them engaged inside of our landing page to increase the chance of us closing that sale. So what's a better way than to have a voice AI agent inside of the website to answer questions, book meetings, get them into the sales pipeline so that we can close them. So before we get into it, I'm going to give you guys a quick overview of the infrastructure so that you can understand all of the different components that make up this system. Right, so here we have the full infrastructure that makes up the system for the voice AI widget. I know it might look scary and complex. However, I can promise you it's not, and we'll take it step by step. Right, so this is a sequence diagram with all of the components laid out vertically, and we also have the conversation or the flow of the data in the lines horizontally. So if you want to look at the first component, we've got the user, we have the browser, which will host the Next.js widget. Then we have the token API connection. So this is how we connect to Livekit. And then we have Livekit Cloud, the Python agent, which is what makes up the Livekit voice agent. And then finally, we have the inference, STT, LLM, and TTS. These are the different models that make up the voice component of the agent. So if we start with the left-hand side, we have the user clicks the widget, as you saw in the demo. This starts the session. We request the JWT token, and we get that via the API. We return a token, and then we're able to connect and join the Livekit Cloud room. One thing I want to mention is that this doesn't actually need to be Livekit Cloud. It could be self-hosted into your own server. However, the logic will still be the same. Once we have the user join the room, we then dispatch the agent, the voice agent, into that same room to be able to speak with the user. And then once the user speaks, that speech gets translated into text. Then it will go into the LLM. Here we're using ChatGPT 4.1 mini. And then the response goes to a TTS, which is text to speech, that will then synthesize the audio and send it back to the user via WebRTC connection. And then finally, the audio will get played back to the user. Hopefully this gives you an overview of all the different components and how they work together. So with that being said, let's jump in and look at the code. Right, so here we have the project. It consists of two different folders. The first one is the agent, and this is where we build the voice AI agent and deploy it into Livekit Cloud. Or if you want to self-host, you can upload it into your own server. And then second, this is where we have the Next.js web UI. This is where we build the widget. However, I did modify it to make it work better for our use case. And if you want to get your hands on this project, I'll leave a link to the school community down below. You can go ahead and grab all of the source code, and there'll be some more in-depth tutorials on how to set this up. So here we've got some of the key features for the agent and the UI. Right, so to set this up, the first component is the voice AI agent. And like I said, this could be any of your agents that you have for Livekit you're able to use with this setup. However, if you don't have an agent already, you can quickly go ahead into Livekit and just deploy a new agent. You click the top here and just follow these instructions. It's very easy. There's like 3-4 lines to do this. You install the CLI, authenticate, and then you're able to use the starter template, which will basically look very similar to what we have here. So inside of the source code, you're able to find agent.py. So this is the main file that specifies the prompt, the different models for the agent, and the different functionality and the tools. So we just want to use the template or whatever agent that you have. The only difference is we want to add the agent name. This is because we want to explicitly give the agent a name so that from the UI side, we're able to deploy and dispatch that specific agent. So for this to work, make sure you add this line here right at the bottom of the main function, right? And you also need to make sure you add this inside of your .env.local file. So as an example, you need the agent name. I have used embedded-agent, and you're able to see this here. So it's running, it's deployed, embedded-agent. You also need your Livekit URL, API, and secret, which you'll get from the Livekit dashboard. Very simple. Once you have all these things, make sure you switch the file name from .example to .local. Once that's ready, you'll be able to go ahead and deploy the agent. So these steps are to run it locally. However, if you just want to deploy it, what we're going to do is do lk agent deploy. Right, so in the terminal, what we're going to do is first, you'll probably be at the main level. So we're going to change the directory into the right folder, and we're going to go to embedded agent. Right, once we're in here, we're able to just do lk agent deploy, and then that will go ahead and deploy the agent into Livekit Cloud. Right, so the agent has just finished deployment. To verify, you'll be able to go back to your dashboard, wait a few seconds, it should say running as it just did here. So that's how you know it's been deployed. Also, other things you want to look out for, the logs are very helpful. So to look at the logs, you just do lk agent logs, and then you're able to see all of the different stuff that are happening in the agent. This message is usually a really good indicator. The worker is working, it's registered, and that'll be the first part of the setup. Now we have the agent deployed. You're able to test it, call it using the sandbox, for example. This is a good way to just quickly test your agent inside of the Livekit dashboard. Right, so the second part is setting up the embedded widget. Like I said, this is a customized version of the open source version with some added functionality and customizability that we can do. So what we want to do is cd into the right folder and then pnpm install. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let me go back and then embed widget. Right, so once we're in the right folder, we can do pnpm, we can do pnpm install. Mine's already up to date, but yours will just basically download all of the different packages needed for the Next.js application. Next, we also want to make sure we have the environments. So likewise, like we did with the agent, we have the example here. So you want to fill out all of the environment keys, the connection point. When it's local, when this is local and you're testing out locally, you can keep this as localhost. However, and I'll get to that once we deploy, this will be different. This is going to be your deployed URL. So I'll get to that in a deployment section, but let's just go back and finish this setup. So we want to configure the name. So inside of the app config.ts, we want to just make sure we have the chat input is true, video is true, screen share, and buffer is enabled. All of these stuff should be enabled, and this name here should match your agent name that we specified in the setup before. And once you've done all these things, we're able to run the server locally. And to do so, we just do pnpm dev. So let's do that very quickly. And then we'll be able to see that it's running in localhost 3000. So if we go to localhost 3000, this is what you should be seeing. So we have two different ways that we can embed the widget inside of our website. The first is using iframe. So what you want to do is test this out locally first. So chat with the agent locally, also via the pop-up on the right-hand side here. Once you know that it's working, don't copy this because this is the URL for localhost. It wouldn't work if you put it into your website. We need to actually go ahead and deploy this. To do so, let's go back and finish up the deployment. And in the deployment section in the README file, you'll be able to see the step-by-step instruction to do this. So first, we want to push the code into GitHub. So in the source code tab, you want to go ahead and commit all your changes. You'll be able to see all the different files and the new files. If it's a new repo, you're going to see initialize repo and then publish the repo into GitHub, because then we're going to use Railway to connect to GitHub to deploy our application. Once you've done that, we then go to railway.app. Okay, so once we logged in inside of Railway, we're going to go ahead and create a new project, and then we connect it with GitHub. So we select GitHub repository, select the repository that we want to use. So I called mine Livekit demo, and then this will go ahead and start the initial deployment. However, we're going to stop this deployment because there's certain settings that we need to make sure that we do first. So I'm going to remove this. And then into the settings tab, what we want to do is go down to the source, and we're going to add a directory. This is because we have multiple different directories and projects within the GitHub repo. So what we want to do is just select the widget one. So we're going to go to /embedded widget, and this is the one that we want to select. And then also down in networking, we're going to generate a domain. We need to input 8080 and then generate a domain. Right, so now we have our custom domain. We're going to copy this and then go into the variables. Inside of here, you should see all of the different variables that were detected from Railway. What we want to do is enter API credentials similar to the environment file that we had locally. So what we want to do is go into the raw editor and add all of our environment variables for the Livekit. So API key, the secret, and the URL. And then for the endpoint, we want to paste in the domain that we just generated into here and making sure that we have HTTPS :// and then the domain and then / API connections details. And then for the widget URL, this is just going to simply be the domain without the extension at the end. So it will just be our domain that we generated. So update the variables and we can remove everything else we don't need. Sometimes it will show you some other variables in here that we don't actually need. So these are the only environment variables that we need. And then we can go ahead and deploy. So let's just give it a few seconds and wait for that to deploy. You can see here it's initializing and then it'll do the build, deploy, and post build script. Right, so we finished deployment. So we're going to go to the link and open up the web page. So this is the deployed version now. Just give it a second. So now we have the final script that we can add into our web page. So inside of your website provider, you have an option to add an iframe, which is like a component inside of the web page. So the first method is using the iframe. So we're going to go ahead and copy this. I'm using Framer. So this is how it looks like in the backend of the website builder. You have the different components and whatnot. And the way to do that is just inserting embed, dragging it into the section that you want it to show up in. And then in the HTML section, this is where we just go ahead and paste that script. So as you can see here, now we'll have the second, remove the extra space. You can see here now we have two of the buttons directly from our widget. So this is one way. And the second way is using the pop-up script. And this is slightly different because it's like a floating button on the bottom right of the screen. We're going to add this to the top level body of the site. So for the data sandbox ID, this is just for reference. No matter what kind of website you're using, there'll always be somewhere where you can add a custom script to the website. So just try to find it in your own website provider. What we want to do is paste that script at the end of the body tag in HTML. And we want to change the sandbox ID to whatever you want. So you want to just change this to what your website is. This is just for reference for Livekit to be able to know. So what we're going to do is just click save and then go ahead and publish this. Right, so now it's been updated. Let's just go ahead and refresh the screen. All right, so now we can see we have the button. We can quickly test it. For some reason in Framer, we have this white border around the iframe, which I haven't had enough time to basically fix. But essentially, we're able to go ahead and chat with the agent. So let's quickly test this. Hello?
Hi there. How can I assist?
Awesome. So the button works. And then to test the pop-up at the bottom right here, the colors are not great. Can barely see it. Actually, you probably can't see it because it's on the other side. Right, so now if I click on here, hello, hello.
Hello, hello. How can I assist you today?
And obviously we can change and update all of the colors, add logos, and customize this to match what your branding looks like or your client's branding. So with that being said, we have everything set up and ready to go now. We have a voice AI agent inside of our website, and you can see how powerful this is, and it's actually very helpful. And a lot of our clients are actually asking for this. So it's a very simple setup that's gonna provide a lot of value for your clients. You can charge this by like a monthly cost just to run this, and you handle the credits, or you can just charge a one-time payment build to set it up, and then they just take care of the credits themselves. You can connect them with their own API keys for the STT and the models, and they have their own Livekit account. Otherwise, you can have control of everything, and you can just charge them on a monthly retainer to have the system up and running, to keep it updated. Another cool thing is you have full functionality because you can set up any voice AI agent. So inside of the source here, you can add all of the different tools and integrations that we want to do. So here we just have a schedule meeting tool, but you can have a RAG system, you can have a CRM integration. The possibilities are truly endless. So with that being said, this is it for this one. If you have any questions or any ideas you want to see building with Livekit, please let me know in the comments down below. And again, if you want access to the full source code for both the agent and the widget, I'll add that in my school community. The first link in the description down below. That being said, I hope you found this valuable. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. As always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.